Thank you for joining us on the Sweet Language of Life podcast. This is episode 12. The stability that I'm talking about is not, I mean, when you say monetary stability, what does it do? It's actually a stability that our mind is seeking. It's not necessarily a physical stability. I mean, let's say
Yes.
for you, money would be a physical stability. For me, just chilling in a small Goan town, selling fish would be stability. You know,
Mhm.
and I don't think any sort of physical stability is enough for us to quench the monetary stability thirst that we have.
Absolutely. I
A-
agree. I
And,
agree 100%. It is your mental state of being. It is
right,
your mental state of being. So,
right, and
I agree.
that's and when that happens, when we are not mentally stable or mentally secure with anything
Mhm.
around us, anything that we depend
Mhm.
on, anything that we even painting for 5 minutes is something we are depending on to give us mental stability, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
Maybe the value we associate with it is very small, but for that
Yes.
point of time, if you're completely immersed into it, it's giving us mental stability. And if it is
Absolutely.
doing that, it's bringing across a new experience. And if it's bringing across a new experience, and it's an experience which I feel I'll get disappointed by, maybe not now when I'm doing it, right? So uh, basically, the logic that I want to put forth is, hey,
Mhm.
mentally we are not stable, we are not secure. That's pushing me to do something new. Anything that might be doing something, that might be investing into something, that might be finding a partner, that might be anything, right? Then that experience, it can go in your favor, it can go against you, right? And then you move
Yes.
on. That brings you that brings you to that question: why do we even want to do new things? Because if we have to do new things to find mental stability, hey, we didn't find
Mhm.
mental stability here. So I think what human beings are finding as a recourse is, let's do 100 different things and find that one thing that clicks. But
Mhm.
unfortunately, in the long run, that one thing will not click, and we'll have to find 100 things more to do. So now, final question. Not the final question. I'm not leaving you so easily. But again, the point: why do we keep on doing these things? Is there a way where we can be mentally secure rather than finding 500 different things to do and just experiencing life is a different thing. Experiencing different things for mental stability is another thing,
Mhm. Right.
right? So
So, I'll
how do you
ask
look
you a
at it?
question.
Right,
I'll ask you a counter question.
go ahead.
Yeah. So, this is from your point of view, strictly. So, if you were to do absolutely nothing, would that give you mental stability? Absolutely nothing.
Right now, no, but I'm trying to reach, or I'm thinking, or maybe thinking won't do it, but I'm trying to reach, that's my goal, to be completely secure mentally without having to do something to feel secure. I might do 100 things, but I might not look for security in it.
Mhm.
I
So
might
how are
have,
you trying to how are you trying to do that now? You said you're trying. So how are you trying to do that?
I am, every situation that presents itself at some point of time, I try to ask. And when I say ask myself, it's me who's asking myself. So they're not two people. The thought that
Hmm.
is asking me is not different from me, right?
Yeah, I get
I
that. Yeah.
I'm trying to ask whether there is something that is going to give me security, or this is something that is something that is going to help me explore new dimensions of life, right?
All right. Okay.
Now,
So
right,
this
go
particular
ahead.
activity of you asking yourself, Isn't that something that you're doing to try and get your mental stability? So aren't you doing something to get your mental stability, which is not actually doing nothing?
Agreed. Right now I am, but when I do reach a position, I'm
Which
saying
is that position?
complete security. I don't know what that is, but I hope
So
there
how
is
do you
something
get
like
there
that.
without actually
I
doing
don't
something
know. I
about
don't know. I don't know. That's why I'm having conversations with you
it?
guys. I'm having conversations with you guys, trying to find out what makes sense for you. I don't know.
I get that. So, one way or the other, I think when you look at it, we are all trying to do something which actually gets us to that position, right? you know like you said, so when an experience, when a situation, when something happens to you, you ask yourself a particular question, you ask yourself a couple of questions. So all that is you trying to reach your ultimate goal of mental stability by actually doing nothing. So you're actually doing something to get to the place where you get mental stability, which is the same thing that we were talking about. So isn't that in a way a loop?
Agreed. I mean, I
Yeah,
completely agree with what you're saying. You're saying
yeah.
what you might do, even watching serials, to find mental stability. That's, I mean, I truly feel that's what people do. I mean, I question half the time, why do people watch television for 7 hours straight, binge watch series 7 hours straight? And now when I think about it, that's what they're trying to do. Find some sort of mental
They're trying to
security.
Yes, they're trying to find a diversion to something. So if something sad happens in your day, they're trying to find a diversion. Okay, or something that makes them happy, a very temporary source
But see,
that they resort to.
there's a distinction between that. See,
Mhm,
finding a diversion to
mhm,
move your focus away from something versus
mhm. Yes,
not coming to a position where you have to find a diversion.
yes. So, or yeah, that is there. And there are also, when you have a problem, there are also two ways of dealing with it. Either you completely forget that it happened, or you feel the entire thing that's happening. If you're feeling sad, feel the pain and you go through the tunnel and you get to the other side. So there are two ways of dealing with it too, right? So all this is for mental stability, just like you said. So people are resorting to one thing or the other for mental stability. Even sitting and doing nothing is actually doing something to attain mental stability. You're doing nothing, that is actually something.
So the question that I would ask is, does it then feel inevitable for you that we
Hmm.
as human beings
Hmm.
have to do something, and even if it is doing nothing, to find mental stability? Or is there a way we can be mentally stable without even having to do or not do anything? See, that's a dusra, that's a googly.
Hmm. I think first of all, this is all within us. Everything that is happening is within us. What is mental stability in the first place? It can differ to different people, probably. I don't know. I can only get into my head. I can't get into yours. So, whatever mental stability is for you need not be mental stability for me. Anything which makes me feel at ease, that means you may have to feel equally towards everything that is happening around you, because you cannot be in a place and not actually feel anything. You cannot put up a shield and close, protect yourself from everything that is happening. You may have to probably feel everything equally and still feel the same. So I think it is a very internal process. Whatever it is that we are trying to do on the outside, including doing nothing, might probably be a very temporary physical sort of a resort that we are looking towards, because ultimately every mechanism that is happening, if I scold you, if you're feeling it, it's what's happening within you. You are feeling the anger. I can never make you angry. I can say something which made you feel angry towards me, so that is an internal mechanism that is happening. So similarly, feeling mentally stable is also an internal mechanism that is happening. And I think in our pursuit of exploring this or trying to, because I don't think anybody, I wouldn't say anybody, but I don't think many of us would dedicate enough time and effort to come to that particular stage where you can actually, navigate within yourself and, be mentally stable. So what people do in their everyday life, like you said, is binge watch series, or do something that they like to make themselves feel better. It's a very temporary kind of escape, I would say. So I think, that it's a very internal mechanism, and everything that we are doing on the outside is something which makes us feel that, this is what gets us there. So we get more and more addicted to this particular action or activity to make us feel better. So that is what I think, even if you don't do it, probably if you are in that particular place, maybe you will feel mentally stable. And since I have not experienced that in real, I cannot, really put forward the idea as a 100% thing, like you were saying earlier, that I have all the answers. No, I don't, because I haven't really experienced it that way. But I think that, this is a possibility.
Right. And when you mention, right, that people are doing things to probably find mental stability, there
Mhm.
might be activities which you're doing and not thinking of doing that, or even subconsciously doing that, you know.
Absolutely.
Th- then aren't those things, um I don't know how to explain it. Like if I'm trying to make my own music, right, which I enjoy doing thoroughly, when I'm trying to when I'm painting, it's a way for me to either emote, or a way for me to find out um, a very positive spin of some sort of emotion that I have, right? But if it's music, it's not something to, deflect. It's pretty, I would say it's coming from the inside. I enjoy the whole process. I don't think of anything else. And i'm I mean, even if I'm thinking of something else, I know I'm not deflecting it. I would rather incorporate it within my music.
Hmm.
So it's a tricky question. It's a vague question, but then what are these things that we do? Things that we actually enjoy doing. I'm not talking about watching TV series the whole day. I don't think anyone would agree that that's something productive that they're doing. Maybe there are people who actually feel that's productive. I don't want to comment, but there are things which we genuinely enjoy doing. You know, Wh-
Hmm.
what do you think? Where do these things stand in the equation for you? Tricky question. It's a vague question,
I
anyways.
think, yeah, I think when I dance, there was a time when I was really, really hurt, but I just kept dancing. I think you're aware of that time. I had a knee problem and I just kept dancing. I mean, it's a stupid thing. It's not something that we should really pursue. But back in the time, uh, I did not really give my health as much importance, and I kept doing it. So I think I was madly addicted, to the particular activity, and I think the reason was because I felt blissful when I was doing it. I felt blissful. And if given a choice, if I had enough energy within me, if I was a superhuman or something, I would probably continue dancing for, the entire day or the entire time. If I could, if that was, something which I could do, I would have definitely done it, because I think blissfulness would be the state of mental stability that I want. I would continuously want to be in this particular blissfulness. So I think whenever people uh, go for their passion, or they do something that they're really crazy and passionate about, I think they feel blissful when they do it. Probably when you involve yourself into music, I think you feel really happy. I think you feel blissful. So that is a feeling that I would always, always want to have. It just makes me very happy. And if that was a particular, what do I say, scale for mental stability, that is where I would want to be, always blissful about everything. But sadly, I can't do that. So it's not that, everything that you do has to add up to your mental stability. You cannot always be this equal kind of person. You can, go above it, go to some extent, some sort of really dedicate yourself into something that you like to do. And if given a choice, I mean, so many people who make their passion their work, they're really lucky because for a huge part of the day, they also get to be productive about it. They get their earning out of it to be in this materialistic world. I think that is very important. And they also feel very happy when they do it. So, they're so dedicated to it. They are so devoted towards that particular thing. So I think they're really lucky, that way. So yeah, so the activity that we do when we, whatever it is that makes us happy, I think it's something which we want to do because it makes us blissful, because we get to explore the particular art more. I mean, talking in my terms, probably in yours too, you would have probably learned a lot. I'm a self-taught person, I'm a self-taught dancer, classically no, but otherwise yes. So whenever I dance, I learn because I explore, I experience new things, and it makes me very very happy when I learn something. So I think you know those are the kind of activities that you involve in when you want to feel blissful. It's a very it goes hand in hand.
Right. So before we end this conversation, I'm going to take you back right to the start of this conversation where we were talking about why we end up doing these things, right? And do you
Yeah.
think when we look for different experiences, like, hey, I want to travel to this place, right? I want to stay here for a month. I want to experience this whole thing. Is there a point of time in our lives where we think whatever gave us bliss is not giving us bliss, and hence we need something else to reach to that position which will give us bliss? And that's what we keep on doing all the time, and that is the whole pursuit of the human race. Not even the human race, I think everything in this world, it's always trying to reach to a position of mental satisfaction which is good enough. Thank you for watching The Sweet Language of Life.